NVIDIA's earnings in overtime tomorrow could very well hold the key for where the tech trade heads from here. My next guest is cautious on that. Joining me now, Post 9, Cheryl Young, Rockefeller Global Family Office private advisor. It's good to see you again.
Thank you, Scott.
You sound like you're a little cautious kind of on everything right now in this market. You said, and by the way, it's hard to find people who are cautious now. Feels like so many people are on the same side of the boat. What has you so cautious?
You know, Scott, I'm a rock climber, and I spend a lot of time in Tahoe. And when I go up one pitch, I get nervous. If I go up two pitches, I get a little bit more nervous. As I go higher and higher, the more I really care about making sure my rope's intact. I know where my belayer is. I've got eyes on all my gear. And this market has come up a lot this year. But it's interesting because people are saying the markets are coming up a lot this year. But it's not really the market.
That's right.
It's just a couple of stocks.
Well, I mean, it's a little bit broader than that, in fairness. And there seems to be good reason. I mean, earnings were way better than expected, so the multiple doesn't appear as egregious as some maybe thought it was. The tariffs don't seem to be causing the kind of inflation that the worst fears were centered around.
Yeah,
and despite the noise around the Fed, they all but are telling you they're going to cut rates soon.
Powell opened the door Friday, right? I think that his tone's a little bit more open to it. But he's got, as our CEO said, he's got a little bit of a tug of war. You know, you've got job numbers which are not terrible, but not as good as we'd like. Mm-hmm. And the inflationary numbers, if you look at the consumer confidence index that came out this morning, we have inflation as an estimate at 6.2 increase over the next year. So it looks like everybody thinks inflation will go up because tariffs are just now starting to show some effects.
You think stocks are overvalued, just straight up?
I think stocks are overvalued straight up. But again, looking at the index and the P on an index is really tough when it's just a handful of names. If you look at most of the S&P 500, earnings fell 5.2% year over year. It's not up. Again, technology has carried this market, and it's becoming a crowded trade. I get very nervous when I get into, a taxi car in New York, and everyone's saying buy Palantir, buy NVIDIA, buy two stocks, right? There are more stocks to the market that are important to watch.
Do you think there are more stocks in the market that are worthy of being bought today? Or are you just negative across the board?
I do. Look, healthcare is up not even 1% this year, right? And actually EPS on healthcare stocks increased nicely year over year. But there has been no participation in healthcare stocks at all. And if the AI boom is real, it should help sectors like healthcare quite a lot.
I mean, you think the Fed's going to cut rates in September? And if you answer that question yes, then presumably you believe in all of those stocks in an area of the market you say hasn't participated actually joining the party.
Yes, look, I mean, I've been preaching go with an equal weight index all year over a market cap weighted index because that market cap index has gotten, again, really, really crowded on those trades. So I do like the equal weight better than the market cap weighting index. Where I get nervous is that I do think they're going to cut rates in September. I think we get 25 basis points, not 50. The markets, as of Friday, were pricing in 100 basis points until, call it June of next year. I'm just not sure we get that much. I think there still could be, again, that tug of war between inflation and jobs. And the Fed has a dual mandate they have to answer, and it's very, very difficult. You also have to remember in 2021, everyone's accusing Powell of getting it wrong. We were behind the curve on inflation. So if they get behind again, inflation starts taking off, and they have the same catch-up, we saw what happened in 2022.
But I mean, ultimately, they're going to have to make the best guess that they can, and they seem to be leaning in the direction that inflation is going to cause this one-time price increase. You don't buy that?
First of all, I don't see how 25 basis point makes that much of a difference.
Well, it's the start.
It's
not the end.
It's the start. That's correct.
Your fear sounds like, though, it might be the end. Like, for a while, they cut 25, and then they're like, well, let's wait and see.
I think they've got to wait and see. I think we might get 50 basis points this year, but then it's going to be a wait-and-see story that has to play out. And again, going back to how many companies beat earnings this quarter, remember, 85% of companies beat in Q3 2021. And again, 2022, we saw a 27% peak-to-trough decline in the S&P.